Please rise and body your spirits and enjoy shaking your jingle bells as we sing our gathering music, This Little Light of Mine, number 118 in your hymnal. Welcome everyone to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Hillsborough. Whoever you are, member, friend, or guest, and whatever has brought you here this morning, we are so glad that you have come to join us. We are a community of liberal, open-minded people who strive to connect with one another in love. We are defined by covenant rather than by a statement of belief or creed. We support each other in spiritual growth, deepening of faith, and challenge one another to find more love and deep connection both inside ourselves and in the world. My name is Heather Kraft, and I'm the worship coordinator for today's service, which is a slightly unusual service, and we will not be lighting our chalice at the normal time. It will be lighted as part of the larger candle service. As a lay-led congregation, there are a lot of people, and especially this week, a lot of people that have gone into making this service possible. So please, let's give a big round of thank you to all of our volunteers. Today is our celebration of Candlelight. It's a service and celebration of all the people throughout the centuries who have lit candles in this season of darkness and cold. Some light them for warmth, some for light, and many in celebration. We will have a presentation of 5 of those celebrations today. Before we begin, we're going to cover announcements. Most of them are in the e-news and on the back of your order of service. But if there's any that didn't make it in there, please come up to the side mic and share now.
Hi y'all, I'm Amy, the program admin here. I'm also the membership coordinator. We had Pathway to Membership last week, and we got 7 new members. We will do an official new member welcome ceremony thing in a couple of weeks. But for now, let me introduce you to Elizabeth Evans-Talley. Not here today. Her husband Dustin is probably also not here, and their son Oren. What about Dawn Todd? Yay! Member name tag and Amber Shorts. She's out of town. Bethlehem. It's the holidays, y'all. Melissa Irons and Chris Smith. Yay! If you are interested in membership, there is a link in the newsletter that you can sign up and let me know, and we'll let you know when our next workshop is. Thank you.
I will be brief. Some of you might recognize me. Yay. The majority of you probably don't. But that's okay. I'm here, I guess, a boomerang. Compliments of my wife. And with thanks from the help of David Yelton, who kept me driving with a license that was sent overseas, and also was a great human resource in allowing me to pick up a car in Winston-Salem, which gives me wheels. So I'm back. And you are? Oh, yeah. Let me get out my ID. John Rhodes.
I just want to highlight the services that are coming up. We have a service on Christmas Eve, which is going to be really special, so I hope that you all will come to that. And then next week we have a fire ceremony where we're going to let go of 2024 and welcome in 2025 with fire. So it's very dramatic, so I hope you will come to that one as well.
Hi, I'm Aurora. I have a couple announcements. One, look, in early January, we're going to have a chalice lighting, talking about the symbolism and also the safety involved with it. So if your child is interested in being a chalice lighter, especially after today and seeing all these candles being lit, they want to do it too in the future, Heather will be teaching a safety and symbolism class on that early in January. So look for that. I think it will be on January 5th is the current plan. Also, if any of our visitors today have littles who are 5 and under and need early room care because the service is just a little too long, come find me and Annabelle, or wave wildly at us, or start taking your child out and look desperately at me, and we'll come make sure that your child has childcare during the service.
All right, the final announcement is to please make sure to put your cell phone in worship mode. Honey, if you can grab mine, to make sure that it doesn't ring during the service.
We'll begin with our call to worship. Words by Reverend Scott Taylor, "The Wonder All Around Us." Think, friends, of the sky, of the stars that dance like fireworks overhead. Think of trees, whether budding or bare, and the rivers and the rain, all part of this living, breathing earth that makes our living and breathing possible. Think, too, and look at the faces that surround you. What a wonder it is that we don't have to travel this world alone. All of it is a miracle. All of it is mystery. All of it deserves our awe. And so, may these lights that we kindle in this service and the time we now share illuminate all the astonishing preciousness of it all. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, number 241, In the Bleak Midwinter.
Ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a sharing community where our joys are celebrated, and a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. Each Sunday, we take some time to reflect on the special happenings of the week. We have some very special friends back with us today. Some choose to share aloud while others choose to remain silent, and here we make room for both. After sharing, you're welcome to drop a stone. They're over here this time. The stone symbolizes the connection and shared memories of our community. If you're joining us online and you would like us to say something, just type it in the chat and let us know, and we'll be happy to drop a stone for you. For those of you who prefer to silently acknowledge the joys and sorrows remaining in your heart, I invite you to come and release a stone into the vase in silence while Aviva plays Dark of Winter. After she's played it through once, we're all going to join in singing. The words are printed in your order of service. We hold all of these things, both spoken and unspoken, in the heart of this community by remaining silent for a moment as we consider what has been shared and how we might respond. We will close this portion of the service with Amen and blessed be. Amen. Blessed be.
Whether we call it festivals of candlelight, candlelight celebrations, or sacred fires of faith and hope, today's message from many cultures and different eras of human history present the various time-honored rituals of light overcoming darkness and hope overcoming fear. We offer this brief invocation by Maureen Killeran. Blessed be you, Spirit of life, who guides us to light candles at this festal time. Blessed be you, Spirit of healing, who works miracles of hope for our hearts to see. Blessed be you, Spirit of light, who sustains our life, lifts us up, and brings us to this season of joy and love.
In the center of our altar is our flaming chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Even though it's not associated with any one particular holiday season, the flaming chalice has, over the course of time, come to represent a celebration of hope, inspiration, community, and religious liberty. The flaming chalice did not officially become a UU symbol until the 1950s. However, during the Middle Ages, when only the clergy were allowed to drink from the communion cup, a priest from Prague named Jan Hus courageously defied the Catholic Church by serving his congregation both the bread and the wine, effectively declaring that all people have equal access to the divine. After Jan Hus's death, his followers continued to share the full communion with one another in secret and took up the flaming chalice as their symbol, representing, as we often say today, the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. Much later, during World War II, the Reverend Charles Joy, director of the Unitarian Service Committee, asked his friend Hans Deutsch, an Austrian artist and political dissident, to create a symbol that would represent the spirit of their work. At that time, the Unitarian Service Committee, a rescue and relief operation, was helping Unitarians, Jews, and other persecuted groups escape the Nazis. Since Nazi informers were numerous, Reverend Joy felt that the organization needed a secret symbol of hope to use on all of their clandestine communications to reassure refugees that they were in good hands as they traveled in a network much like the Underground Railroad. And thus the symbol of the flaming chalice was created. The organization first began using this symbol in French refugee camps, and soon it was understood that anyone carrying a note with a flaming chalice could be trusted. Sympathizers would draw the symbol in the dirt outside of their homes as a signal to those in need of a place to stay. It was a light in the darkness, a shelter in the storm. The flaming chalice means even more to UUs today. Even though it's not a flame associated specifically with any festivals or holy days of winter, it means that UUs everywhere honor all sincere religious and cultural beliefs that give meaning and hope to our lives. It means that we can simultaneously celebrate Yule, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, and the solstice with reverence, and draw strength and insight from these very beliefs and rituals. And we will do just that as we celebrate, in their historical/chronological order, the lighting of all of these candles and the time-honored religious celebrations. It means that all people are welcome here. Indeed, we proclaim, come, come, whoever you are. May it always be so. Please rise and body your spirit as we sing hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
We'll sing it through once in unison, and then we're going to split into two parts and sing it as a round. David and I are going to lead it. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come.
This is the meaning of Yule. On December 21st each year, just yesterday, the winter solstice took place in the northern hemisphere, and we all witnessed that the sun stopped moving in the sky. Not really, you say. You're right. The sun does not stand still in the sky. But for aeons of time, this is what people believed happened at the solstices. The word solstice literally means sun, sol, to stand still, sistere. We now know scientifically that it is the Earth that is moving around the sun, and that the equinoxes and the solstices, the seasons, are really caused by the tilt of the Earth toward and away from the sun. And that is what causes the winter solstice, the longest night of the year, when daylight is the shortest. But it is easy to understand why it was so important and meaningful to our ancestors to be able to count on having sufficient daylight. They needed the light to see, and to gather food or grow their crops. They also believed that by lighting candles and fires, they could coax the daylight, the longer days, to return. And when it did start to return, they celebrated by lighting more lights and developing associated rituals. Yule is the Celtic name for the celebration of the winter solstice. Since ancient times, people all over the world have held celebrations this time of the year. We know that in pre-Christian times, the return of the light was honored in rituals and rites with fire. There were bonfires on the hillsides, candles in the windows, and a Yule log in the fireplace. And the continuing of the light, even in the darkest night of the year, was also celebrated with decorations of evergreens, holly, ivy, and mistletoe. At all the feasts, the four quarters of the earth were acknowledged. Contemporary nature worshippers, pagans, and witches still call upon the spirits of the four quarters, the four directions, the four earth elements. In this congregation, we still honor the four directions in our worship services, each solstice and equinox, by lighting 4 candles. And this is the lighting of the four directions, with word by Joan Goodwin. And I might need my first chalice here. East, spirit of the east, spirit of air, of morning and springtime, be with us as the sun rises, in times of beginning, times of planting. Inspire us with the fresh breath of courage as we go forth into new adventures. South, spirit of the south, spirit of fire, of noontime and summer, be with us through the heat of the day and help us to be ever growing. Warm us with new strength and energy for the work that awaits us. West, spirit of the west, spirit of water, of evening and autumn, be with us as the sun sets and help us to enjoy a rich harvest. Flow through us with a cooling, healing quietness and bring us peace. North, spirit of the north, spirit of earth, of nighttime and winter, be with us in the darkness and the time of gestation. Ground us in the wisdom of the changing seasons as we celebrate the spiraling journey of our lives. Now please join us in body or spirit as we sing hymn 235, Deck the Hall with Boughs of Holly.
The miracle of Hanukkah. Hanukkah, also known as the Festival of Lights, is a religious celebration in the Jewish tradition. The timing is based upon the moon rather than the sun, so the dates are changeable. This year, Hanukkah is celebrated December 25th through January 1st. Hanukkah is celebrated for 8 days to honor a miracle that happened long ago. Judah Maccabee drove conquerors from Jerusalem, and the people of Maccabee were allowed to return to their temple. They hurried to rekindle the sacred lamp, but found there was only enough oil for 1 day of burning. They had enough faith to light it anyway, and it stayed lit for 8 days until they had time to prepare new oil for the lamp. The menorah holds 8 candles, one for each day of the miraculous burning, as well as the shamash, or servant candle, from which the others are lighted. As we light the candles, we sing the traditional blessings in Hebrew. Here are the English translations. The first one, Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, who hallows us with your commandments, commanding us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. 1 candle is added each night during Hanukkah, beginning with the candle furthest from servant candle. Candles are then lit, beginning with the candle closest to the servant candle, as 2 additional blessings are sung or said. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, who performed wondrous deeds for our ancestors in days of old at this season. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of all, who has kept us alive, sustained us, and brought us to this season. I'm going to invite my children to come forward and help with lighting the candles. We're going to sing the Hanukkah prayers, but if any of you know the Hanukkah prayers, you're welcome to sing along with us as well. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani sein lavoseinu, Vayomim hahem ba'azman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh. And now the next hymn is Light One Candle, number 221.
Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice. next section of our service concerns the gifts of Advent. On the Christian calendar, Advent means the coming or anticipated arrival, and the traditional church calendar celebrates the coming of baby Jesus, recognizing the 4 Sundays preceding Christmas. It's a time of expectation, sharing. Christians celebrate the 4 Sundays by lighting candles within a circular wreath, with the 5th candle being lit in the center on Christmas Eve. Candles in the circle brings a special gift to the world: hope, faith, joy, and peace. Now, Tanae is going to help us light each of these 4 candles in the circle. The first week's candle is the candle of hope, also known as the prophet's candle. The second week's candle is the candle of faith, also known as the Bethlehem candle. The third week's pink candle is the candle of joy. Pink stands for joy, and this candle is known as the shepherd's candle. The fourth week's candle is the peace or love candle. It's also known as the angel's candle. And then in the center of the wreath, there's the final 5th candle, a white candle representing the Christ child who brings light to the world. It's traditionally lit on Christmas Eve, but for the purpose of our service today, we'll declare this Christmas Eve 2 days in advance. Thank you, Tanae. Here's a short traditional reading about the Advent. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ took place in this way. When his mother Mary had been betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found to be with child by the Holy Spirit. And her husband Joseph, being a just man and unwilling to put her to shame, resolved to divorce her quietly. But as he considered this, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not fear to take Mary as your wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel, which means God within you. When Joseph woke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. In those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world shall be enrolled. This was the first enrollment when Quirinius was governor of Syria, and all went to be enrolled, each to his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the city of Nazareth, to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be enrolled with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child. And while they were there, the time came for her to be delivered, and she gave birth to her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn. Our next hymn is O Little Town of Bethlehem, number 246 in the gray hymnal. Please rise and body your spirit.
principles of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is from the Swahili word meaning first fruits of the harvest. It was created in 1966 by a professor of African Studies at California State University as a way of connecting the descendants of American slaves to African culture and heritage, to, in his words, give Black people an opportunity to celebrate themselves and their history. Kwanzaa's popularity peaked in the 1970s and again in the 90s, and while some families do celebrate, it would be ill-advised to assume that it is celebrated by all or even most people of color in America. Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday, but rather a cultural celebration, and thus may be practiced by peoples of African descent, regardless of their religious faith. It begins December 26th and ends on New Year's Day. It is based on 7 principles that build strong families and communities. For those who celebrate Kwanzaa, a central place in the home is chosen for the kinara, the special candle holder. A table is then spread with an African cloth. A mat is placed over the cloth, and the kinara is placed at the center. Then ears of corn and other crops, representing the importance of children in the community and family. Next, the unity cup, used to pour libations in honor of the ancestors. And finally, African art objects and books on the life and culture of African people. On each of the 7 days, one of the 7 principles of the holiday is discussed, and a candle is lit. The center Black candle represents the people. Red candles designate the struggles of the people. Green, the hope that springs from struggle. Those who celebrate would light the center Black candle first, but do not use it to light the other candles. They start with the red candle furthest from center, then the green candle furthest from center, alternating red and green, ending with the last green on either side of the Black. For many years, the lighting of the candles on the kinara has been a part of our festivals of candlelight service here at UUCH, out of an intention to celebrate diversity. But these are not our candles to light. To use the words of African American Unitarian Universalist minister Marjorie Bowens-Wheatley, what does it really mean to respect the inherent worth and dignity of every person in terms of their culture and religion? Does diversity mean that we all join in celebrating many different traditions? Or does it mean that we honor the right of each culture to affirm and celebrate its own heritage and traditions? If we are to err, let it be on the side of caution. Let it be in our dialogue rather than in our action. Let it be on the side of equality and justice. Facing the reality of cultural racism and cultural misappropriation will be spiritually challenging for many Unitarian Universalists because it calls for a willingness to engage in some difficult relearnings, accompanied by an awareness of the need for a deeper degree of personal humility. And this, too, is the work of our faith. Lighting the candles on the kinara is best left to those who celebrate Kwanzaa, which currently is a small minority of the African American population. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing hymn number 147, When All the People Are.
Every single soul is free.
thus we honor these various festivals of candlelight, these long-standing faith and ritual and cultural rituals, because each one brings joy and hope and strength to various cultural and spiritual communities. And isn't that what worship and shared experiences is all about? So blessed be.
Each week, we take up a monetary offering to support our social justice work in the community. This support comes in the form of donations. This month, our community partner is Justice United of Orange County. You may donate by putting cash or a check in the basket, or you can go online to uuchnc.org, or there's a QR code in your order of service.
Christmas and your daughter's here.
love all the parts of this service, but that's my favorite. Please join me in the prayer of collective gratitude found in your order of service. For the love that surrounds us every morning, for the friends beside us, and for the generous gifts just received, let us be truly grateful.
For our closing words, we have a responsive reading here, so you participate in this. All candles have been lighted for centuries. Words are in your order of service. Candles have been lighted for centuries.
As symbols to brighten the darkness of winter days and bring hope and courage to our minds, to lend warmth to the coldness of winter days and warm our hearts with love and understanding.
There is magic in candlelight.
The magic that one candle can kindle the flame in many others, yet not diminish in its own light.
Candles help us celebrate the holidays.
As we light our candles this holiday season, may we remember to share it with others, passing it on wherever there is a dark place where love can enlighten.
Please rise and bow your spirit.
Hang on. Let me do this.
Oh, are you going to do that?
Yes. So, our singing group is called the Songbirds, and our kids are called the Early Birds. So if my early birds could come up here, please. Okay. Felix, you don't want to, it's okay. If you don't want to, it's okay. That's fine. Tanae, Nikki, right here next to Tanae. I know. Bonnie Mae, you're next with Mary, and then Jacob, and then Clara, and, yep, Darren. Do you want to hold an extra one? I think you took the one you colored home. Is that one okay? All right. And then Russell's not here. That's fine. Okay. So the words are in your order of service, but the early birds are going to lead us. Are we ready?
Yes,
All right, Kristen. It's okay, Jacob. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Happy Hanukkah. We wish you a festive Kwanzaa and a Yule of good cheer. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a blessed holidays and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Happy Hanukkah. We wish you a festive Kwanzaa and a Yule of good cheer. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a blessed holidays and a Happy New Year. You can keep it away. Oh, script. Just wing it. I can wing it. That's true. Where'd the Okay. As David extinguishes all of our flame, please join me. The words are printed in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace. Amen. Shalom, and blessed be.